mystics and mages. This is Mystique, your cosmic architect. And today we're stepping into a truth that makes or breaks spiritual growth. A truth so simple, so human, so universal that everyone encounters it, but almost nobody masters it. Knowing your worth. And not the cute Instagram caption kind of worth. I mean, the kind that shows up in your boundaries, your relationships, your money, your choices, your expectations, and your ability to receive without guilt. Because here's the real cosmic secret: you can meditate every day, burn the best incense, memorize every angel name, and manifest like a magician. But if you don't know your value, your Venus energy stays locked. And you feel it. You feel it in every place you've been overgiving, every moment you didn't speak up, every time you settled for crumbs, every situation where you tolerated what your soul was screaming against, every relationship where you loved harder than you were loved back. And you start asking those quiet, dangerous questions. What's wrong with me? Why isn't anybody showing up for me? Why do I keep pouring into people who don't pour into me? But the truth is this: there's nothing wrong with you. You didn't fail them, they failed you. And the moment you finally realize you're more than enough, you stop shrinking to fit their comfort. You stop begging for the bare minimum, and you stop apologizing for having a heart made of gold. This is where Venus steps in. Venus is the current of value, beauty, reciprocity, softness, pleasure, and the divine law that says if you don't honor your worth, life will reflect the discount. But once you do, once you finally know your own value, life has no choice but to rise to meet you. So today, we honor Venus. We call her forward. We let her recalibrate the parts of us that forgot the truth. You were always more than enough. You just needed to remember. Welcome to the Venus Veneration portal. Let's begin.
Where magic meets mindset, where the moon lights the way, manifesting with Mystique, every law's in play. It's align it, believe it, receive it. With Mystique you'll achieve it. Manifesting with Mystique, your cosmic path is clear.
Before we go any further, let's talk about what Venus actually is in your life. See, a lot of people think Venus is just love or romance, crushes, or soft lighting and rose petals. But Venus is so much deeper than that. Venus is the system inside your spirit that determines what you allow, what you attract, and what you believe you deserve. She governs beauty, yes. She governs pleasure, yes. She governs relationships, absolutely. But the real power of Venus is this: she governs worth, what you value, how you value yourself, and how you teach the world to value you. Venus is your inner compass for harmony. She's your magnetism, your softness, your ability to receive. She's the part of you that knows when something feels good and the part that knows when something feels wrong. But you stayed anyway. She rules the art of choosing what's beautiful for you, not what's acceptable for others. She rules the moment you stop begging for reciprocity and start expecting it. She rules the glow that comes back to your face when you remove yourself from places that dimmed your light. And she rules the quiet power of saying, I am not auditioning for love anymore. Because here's the truth: you don't attract what you want, you attract what you believe you deserve. And Venus, she doesn't negotiate on your value. She doesn't argue with anyone's inability to see your magic. She doesn't shrink so others can feel big. Venus is the divine law of beautiful alignment, the law of sacred reciprocity, the law of balance, harmony, pleasure, and right exchange. And when she rises in your life, your standards rise. Your expectations rise as your glow rises, your confidence rises, your entire reality rises. Because once Venus is activated, life becomes a reflection of your worth, not your wounds. This is the essence of Venus. Now let's lighten the energy and step into her cosmic humor. Because Venus has jokes, and trust me, she uses them. Now listen, We can't talk about Venus without talking about her sense of humor. Because the truth is, Venus will humble you and hype you up in the same breath, and she thinks it's hilarious. Venus is that friend who watches you get dressed, and right when you think you look okay, she'll raise an eyebrow like, baby, like, you really leaving the house like that? Where's the glow? Where's the luxury? Put some lotion on those elbows and go get your life together. Because Venus doesn't do dry. She doesn't do bare minimum. She doesn't do crumbs. And if it doesn't feel beautiful, balanced, or elevated, Venus is simply not interested. And here's the cosmic inside joke of attraction. Every time you chase something, Venus sits back like, oh, look, they're running again. She still thinks the bare minimum is a blessing. Let me sip this tea and wait. But the moment, and I mean the exact moment, you stop chasing, stop proving, stop performing, stop auditioning for love, stop negotiating your worth, Venus will suddenly move the whole universe like, ah, yes, now bring her the good stuff. Venus loves to show you that the second you stop begging, everything you were begging for starts seeking you. You ever notice how as soon as you block the wrong person, your skin clears, your money improves, and your whole life starts smiling? That's Venus humor. Or when you finally stop overgiving and suddenly your energy comes back, your creativity returns, and your spirits lift like you just got released from spiritual jail. That's Venus humor. Or when somebody who treated you like an option sees you glowing without them and suddenly wants to text like, hey stranger, and you look at your phone like a return to sender. That's Venus humor. Because the joke, the real cosmic joke, is that you were never lacking. You were never too much. You were never unworthy. You were simply in places that couldn't recognize value. Venus flips the script and says, let's make this funny. Let's make them realize they were the blessing the whole time. And trust me, nothing is more comedic to Venus than watching you finally realize you were the prize. Now that we've had our laugh, let's step into the heart of this veneration, the lesson, your worth, your magnetism, and the divine law of reciprocity. Now we step into the core of Venus, the lesson, the shift, the remembrance. Because Venus teaches you something that no one explains clearly enough. Your entire spiritual path is shaped by what you believe you deserve, not what you hope for, not what you manifest for, but what you believe you can receive. Venus governs magnetism, and magnetism is not force. It's not convincing, it's not chasing. It's not bending yourself for love. It's not working 3 times as hard for half the blessing. Magnetism is alignment. Magnetism is knowing. Magnetism is certainty. Magnetism is truth. It's the quiet cosmic confidence that says, if it's for me, it will come. If it requires self-betrayal, it will go. Venus is the energy that restores your internal scale, the divine balance between giving and receiving. Because let's tell the truth, you've given in places that never gave back. You've nurtured people who drained you dry. You've carried emotional loads that were never yours. You've taught people how to treat you through your silence, your softness, your tolerances, not because you were weak, but because your heart was strong. Overgiving is not a flaw. It is misdirected generosity. It is love that hasn't learned its boundaries yet. And Venus comes to correct that. Venus comes to remind you that you deserve reciprocity, like you deserve ease, you deserve care, you deserve someone pouring back into you with the same devotion you give. This is the law of divine reciprocity. What you give must be returned. What you pour out must be replenished. What you invest in must feed you. What you honor must honor you back. And when it doesn't, Venus steps in. She closes doors you refuse to close. She removes people you're still trying to justify. She dries up connections that were draining your soul. She puts distance where you kept giving chances, not as punishment, but as protection. Because Venus knows something you forget. You can't receive what you're worth if your hands are full of what's hurting you. When Venus teaches worthiness, she teaches release. When she teaches magnetism, she teaches alignment. And when she teaches reciprocity, she teaches you to stop negotiating your value. Because here's the secret. The moment you finally know you're more than enough, life must rise to match that knowing. Relationships shift, money shifts, opportunities shift, your whole aura shifts. Nothing in your reality can stay the same. Once you stop staying the same, and this is the lesson of Venus, the universe doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you're willing to walk away from, and what you're finally ready to receive. Now let's bring this down from the spiritual into the practical. How Venus energy moves through your everyday life. and how your choices can align you with beauty, balance, harmony, and value. Venus isn't just a planet you honor during rituals. Venus is a rhythm, a way of moving, choosing, and responding that keeps your energy aligned with value, harmony, and reciprocity. Here's what it looks like in real life. Venus teaches you to pause before you people please, before you say yes, and before you overcommit, before you take on someone else's load. Ask yourself, is this aligned with my worth? Not, will they be mad at me? Not, will they think I'm selfish? But does this honor my energy? Because Venus energy strengthens your no just as much as your yes. Venus teaches you to take your time when making choices. Rushed decisions are survival energy. Venus energy is sovereign energy. When you slow down, you choose better. And when you choose better, your life becomes more beautiful. Venus teaches self investment, not in a superficial way, but in a spiritual, energetic, magnetic way. Your environment, your hygiene, your rest, your meals, your clothes, and your daily routines, all of these communicate one message: I am worth being cared for. You don't have to buy expensive things, you just need to care for what you already have with reverence, because Venus sees everything you do to honor yourself. Venus teaches you to listen to your body. Your body knows when something's off before your mind tries to rationalize it away. If your chest tightens, if your stomach drops, if your energy shifts, Venus is signaling this is not in alignment with your value. And when something is aligned, your body softens, opens, and relaxes, because Venus is the energy of ease. Venus teaches that reciprocity is a requirement, not a request. If you reach out 10 times and they reach out once, if you support everyone but no one supports you, if you pour deeply and others take freely, Venus will reveal the imbalance and call you to correct it. Real love, real friendship, real partnership. All of it is an exchange, not an extraction. Here's a real life example. Let's say you've been in a relationship or friendship where you're always giving emotionally, financially, spiritually, or mentally. You do the birthday gifts, the long phone calls, the support, the advice, the encouragement. But when you need help, suddenly they're busy, suddenly they're unavailable, suddenly your needs are too much. Venus will make that dynamic feel heavier and heavier and heavier until you acknowledge it. Not to break your heart, but to break the pattern. Because once you step back, something incredible happens. Your energy comes back, your creativity wakes up, your confidence rises, your blessings accelerate. Why? Because you removed the drain that was dimming your magnetism. This is how Venus works in daily life, through clarity, boundaries, beauty, embodiment, and alignment. And now that you feel the rhythm of Venus in your day-to-day, let's elevate this experience with something sacred, the cosmic psalm, the sound, the words, the invocation that awakens your Venus current from the inside out. Close your eyes if you can and listen with the part of you that's been waiting to hear this. This is the psalm of beauty, balance, and sacred receiving. The Venus Psalm. I rise today in the truth of my worth. I stand today in the light of my value. I walk today in the glow of what I deserve. I am beauty in motion. I am balance embodied. I am harmony made flesh. Every room I enter is softened by my presence. Every space I touch is lifted by my energy. Every connection around me aligns to my value. I do not chase. I do not beg. I do not shrink. I simply receive what was always mine. I honor the love that honors me. I welcome the abundance that matches me. I accept the peace that protects me. My heart is a sacred altar. My energy is a precious offering. And my spirit is a divine inheritance. I give where giving is honored. I pour where pouring is returned. I love where love is reciprocal. Ease follows me. Favor chooses me. Harmony surrounds me, and beauty rests upon me. Everything that left made space for what is worthy. Everything that ended opened the door for what is right. Everything that hurt taught me how to receive. I am more than enough. I have always been enough, and now I move like I know it. This is my Venus Psalm. This is my remembrance. This is my restoration, and so it is. Now, let's step into the ritual space. This is the Venus Rosewater Blessing Ritual, a simple, luxurious, energetic reset that calls Venus into your aura, your heart, your worth, your beauty, and your receiving. This ritual is not about romance. It's not about anyone else. It's about you returning to yourself. For this ritual, you'll need a bowl of water. a handful of rose petals, fresh or dried, a few drops of rose water or your favorite scent in your hands. That's it. Keep it simple. Keep it intentional. Keep it beautiful. Step 1, prepare the water. Take your bowl, pour in the water, and add your rose petals. Let the petals float. Let the beauty rise to the surface. Let the softness set the tone. Then add a splash of rose water, just one. It doesn't take much for Venus to respond. Step 2, charge the water with your worth. Hover your hands over the bowl, not touching, just resting them above the surface like a blessing, and say quietly or in your spirit, I return to my value. I honor my worth. I receive what matches me. Feel the words fall into the water like drops of light, because in that moment, you're not just blessing the water, you're blessing yourself. You're telling the universe, I am ready to receive differently now. Step 3, wash your hands in the rose water, dip your fingertips in. Let the petals brush your skin, let the scent rise up. Wash your hands slowly like you're washing away every past moment where you accepted less than you deserved. Every broken promise, every one-sided relationship, every time you lowered your standards. And just to keep the peace, let it all go into the water. Because Venus teaches this truth, your hands cannot receive abundance when they are still holding old wounds. Step 4, anoint your heart. Take a little of the rose water and tap it gently over your heart. Not harsh, not rushed, soft, precise, intentional. And say, I am worthy of reciprocity. I am worthy of beauty. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of ease. Let the blessing sink into your chest. Let the ritual seal your value. Let Venus crown you again. And when you're done, look at your hands, look at your heart, and know you have just reset your entire magnetic field. This is the Venus Rosewater blessing. Simple, sacred, transformative. Now, let's step into the next doorway, the tarot allies of Venus and the magic they unlock in your life. Now let's walk into the tarot temple of Venus. The Arcana she rules, the energies she awakens, and the frequency she activates inside you. Because Venus doesn't just show up through planets, rituals, and psalms. She shows up in the cards, loud, clear, and undeniable. And when Venus speaks through tarot, she is always calling you back to beauty, balance, value, harmony, pleasure, and right alignment. Let's break down her 3 major allies. The Empress, Venus in full glory. The Empress is Venus embodied, divine beauty, fertility, creativity, softness, sensuality, abundance, and worthiness. When the Empress appears in your life, she's saying, stop shrinking, stop dimming, stop apologizing for who you are. You are the blessing. Move like it. She activates self-worth that radiates from the inside out. Receiving without guilt or fear, creative flow that comes naturally, magnetic attraction where opportunities find you and glow energy, spiritual, emotional, and physical radiance. The Empress reminds you that you don't chase, you don't beg, you don't compete. You attract by being aligned. The Lovers, Venus, choice, and sacred alignment. People think the Lovers is just romance. It's not. It's alignment, it's choice, it's harmony, it's divine reciprocity. The Lovers card appears when Venus is teaching you. Choose the things that choose you back. This card activates aligned relationships, mutual effort and mutual honor, values-driven choices, clear boundaries, and harmony between soul and desire. The Lover says, stop loving from wounds, start loving from worth. The Hierophant, Venus and Taurus, value and embodiment. This is the side of Venus most people forget. The earthy, grounded, embodied Venus. That shows up through Taurus. The Hierophant represents standards, values, a commitment to self, sacred routines that honor your worth, beauty as ritual, and pleasure as spiritual practice. The Hierophant asks, what do you truly value? And does your life reflect that? This card activates confidence anchored in consistency, self-respect. You can feel a life built around beauty and balance and the courage to live according to your standards. When the Empress, the Lovers, and the Hierophant work together in your life, Venus is sending a message. You deserve to be adored. You deserve to be honored. You deserve to be chosen with intention. Your self-worth rises. Your relationships shift. Your magnetism opens. Your standards sharpen. Your beauty awakens. Your receiving expands. This is Venusian tarot magic, the art of valuing yourself so fully that life reflects it back to you in every form. Now let's go even deeper into scripture, into angels, into the divine forces that uphold beauty, harmony, and worth. Now let's anchor this Venus current in scripture, an angelic presence, because every planet has an archangel who governs its sphere. And for Venus, that angel is Archangel Anael, the angel of love, the angel of harmony, the angel of beauty, the angel of divine reciprocity. Anael governs relationships, attraction, sacred connection, magnetism, and the restoration of your value. Anael heals the places inside you where you've forgotten your worth or lowered your standards to keep someone else comfortable. And scripture supports this truth more than people realize. Let's bring forward 3 passages that perfectly embody Venus energy. Scripture 1, Song of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 7. Thou art all fair, my love. There is no spot in thee. This is Venus speaking. You are beautiful. You are worthy. You are enough as you are. This scripture activates self-acceptance, self-love, and self-recognition. It reminds you that beauty is a divine inheritance, not a performance. Scripture 2, Proverbs chapter 31, verse 25. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. Strength is not the absence of softness. Honor is not the absence of beauty. This scripture teaches the Venus truth. Your worth is your strength. Your value is your honor. Your future rejoices when you stop settling. Scripture 3, the wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8, verse 2. I loved her and sought her out from my youth. I desired to make her my spouse, and I was a lover of her beauty. This is divine love pursuing wisdom, beauty, and value. Not lust, not chaos, not confusion. This scripture reinforces Venus's law. You deserve to be chosen with clarity, intention, and honor. Now let's call forward Archangel Anael to bless your relationships, your heart, your home, your choices, and your ability to receive what matches your worth. Anael, angel of love and harmony, walk with us now. Restore beauty where there has been brokenness. Restore reciprocity where there has been imbalance. Restore worth where there has been wounding. And restore joy where there has been settling. Help us receive what is aligned, release what is draining, and remember what is true. We have always been more than enough. Now that scripture and angels stand beside us, let's move into the final doorway of this veneration. You're closing the moment Venus crowns the viewer and they step fully into their value. Before we close this Venus veneration, I want you to take a moment and notice how you feel right now. Notice the softness that wasn't here before. Notice the clarity that just awakened in your spirit. Notice the worth that's rising in your chest like light. Because this wasn't just a message, this was a reset, a restoration, a remembering of something ancient in you. Venus didn't come today to make you feel better. She came to make you see differently, to see yourself differently, to see your value differently, to see your relationships differently, to see your standards differently, because you are not who you were before this veneration began. Your heart is clearer, your aura is brighter, your worth is louder, and I want you to hear me clearly. You were never broken, you were never lacking, you were never too much. You were simply operating beneath your value. But now you know, now you see it, now you feel it. Now you're walking differently because you finally know you're more than enough. And from this moment forward, your life will begin to reflect the worth you just reclaimed. Your relationships will shift. Your opportunities will expand. Your boundaries will strengthen. Your peace will increase. Your beauty will glow. Your blessings will align because everything in your world must rise to meet the version of you who knows her own value. So as you step out of this portal today, step out like a person who has returned to their throne, soft, confident, aligned, receptive, and absolutely certain of who you are. This is your Venus awakening. This is your restoration. This is your reminder. You are worthy. You are radiant. You are sacred. You are more than enough. Thank you for entering the Venus Veneration portal with me. If this message lifted your spirit, subscribe to Manifesting with Mystique so you never miss a veneration, ritual, psalm, or cosmic lesson. And if you want to go deeper into the sound current of this work, visit Hidden Hymns Archives to access the seal songs created for this Venus frequency. I love you with that real, unconditional, agape kind of love. Until next time, walk in your worth.
Hold up, don't dip out just yet. This is DJ Jamal, and before you slide off into your day, let me holla at you real quick. If Mystique just reminded you of your worth, Don't let that feeling fade. You felt that shift in your chest. You felt that light come back into your spirit. You felt that moment where you finally said, nah, I am more than enough. That wasn't just motivation. That was Venus waking up inside you. That was your standards rising. That was your value speaking. That was your whole spirit saying, like, we not doing discounts no more. And listen, this veneration right here, this is just one doorway in the Thanksgiving veneration lineup. So if you're ready to keep elevating your energy, your worth, your beauty, your reciprocity, don't stop here. Slide into the next veneration portal and let the rest of these planets polish your destiny. And if you want to stay locked into this vibe, every time Mystique drops a jewel, make sure you hit that like button, tap subscribe, and share this video with somebody who's been overgiving, undervalued, or forgetting who they are. They need this reminder. You needed this reminder. And if you want to tap into the sound current that carries this Venus frequency deeper into your spirit, head over to Hidden Hymns Archives and grab the seal songs created for this veneration. Trust me, that's where the real activation hits. Alright, I'm out. Walk in your worth and stop accepting love that don't love you back. Peace.
When the world felt cold, turn my pain into petals, turn my wounds into gold. Venus crowned me again with her shimmering light. Said you were always worthy, go reclaim your light. My heart is a temple, my love is a throne. I don't beg for attention, I radiate my own. The love, reciprocity flowing in my bones. Now I stand in my value, never walking alone. Now I know I'm more than enough. I was born with the glow, I'm made out of love. I don't chase, I attract, that's the Venus in me. Everything